Hey everybody, the following is an excerpt from the monthly Rahdo Roundup, and if you'd like to see the rest of the Roundup, you can hit that eye up in the top right corner of the screen, or if you'd like to know more about the game, you can follow the link down in the show notes. And with that out of the way, let's talk about... Oh man, I totally meant to look up how to pronounce this because it's a weird word. It's a weird Scottish word. Maeshowe, I think? I apologize for getting this wrong. I totally forgot to look it up, but there are multiple ways you can pronounce it online. It seems like everybody who covered this pronounced it a unique way. But what is it? This is a game inspired by real kind of quasi-folklore history. Basically, there's an epic storm, and either you, if you're playing solo, or you and one other player, if you're playing it co-op, have sought shelter in an ancient crypt, which is a real crypt. It's called the Maeshowe, or Maeshowe, something like that, in Scotland. And we fell in through the roof, and when we landed 15 feet below, we found, oh, there's been a cave-in. The tunnel to get back out, we can't get back out. We're trapped in here. We are going to starve to death if we don't go mad first. And so, this is a brutal survival game where we are trying to play cards to be able to excavate that tunnel and get out to safety before we starve to death or before we go insane. Literally, there are madness cards in this game that you have to balance and take care of, while also still trying to catch food, because occasionally the storm is still going, and so occasionally wild geese fall in, and if you can catch them, you can kill them. And by the way, what is probably one of the most graphic cards I have ever seen in a Modern Desire card game, the card which actually shows you literally slaughtering a goose. Sensitive stomachs might have a problem with it. It's really, really graphic. I probably should have hidden it instead of even showing it in this run-through, in this roundup. But anyway, the important thing is, on your turn, you've got a hand of 5 cards. You're going to pick one card to play and do its effect, and pick another card to discard and do that effect. And that is brilliant. I haven't talked about the setting so far in the presentation. The gameplay is super duper sharp, because you are constantly, what you want to do is you want to play, when you play a card, it just goes into this long row of cards you're playing, and you need to play 4 excavation cards in a row. But if you can play 4 with the same rune zone, you'll do a double excavation instead of a single excavation. But the problem is, of course, you don't know what cards are coming, and you're constantly having to make tough choices about, hey, I'm starving. I've got 3 of my 4 excavation cards, but if I don't eat right now, I will die. So, am I going to slaughter this goose this turn rather than do the 4? But if I do that, then I have to discard something else. And the problem is, a lot of times when you discard these cards, they hurt you. Sometimes they help you. Sometimes when you play them, they hurt you. Sometimes they help you. And so, it's a really clever core little puzzle of a game. And I gotta say, I would rate this much higher as a solo game. I think it's a great, great solo game. But I'm rating it mostly right now as a 2-player co-op. Jen and I played it a few times cooperatively, and it worked, but we found it was way too easy. Even when we racked the difficulty level up, even when we played with the limited communication rules, which are definitely the way to play. It's a very, very clever way they did it. We still found that as a multiplayer game, it was, even at maximum difficulty, didn't provide us enough challenge. Plus, I'll be honest, Jen, my wife, was a bit put off by the very, very dark, grim setting. Me, I had a blast playing it solo, and I think it's really well recommended for that. Oh, one other thing I should mention. At the end of your turn, after you've played a card and discard a card, you're going to draw 2 more cards. Here's the problem. Every card has either a red or a blue rune on it. If at the end of your turn, after you redraw those cards, if you have all of your cards with either the blue or the red, you will go mad. Temporarily, you will take damage, you will permanently drop your hit life, you will lose cards. It's a terrible thing, but it's a good thing too, because the deck is your timer. If you run out of cards, you will lose the game, because you've run out of time. So, sometimes you have to go a little bit mad just so that you can shuffle your discard pile back into the draw pile so you can keep going. So balancing all these things, it's a brilliant solo game. I highly recommend it. It would rate much higher. If you have it as a solo game, I can imagine occasionally playing it as a 2-player game. If you're not really used to 2-player limited communication co-ops, it could work there. But that's why it comes in at number 13 for me and Jen. Still, really sharp, great presentation. I should try to say it one more time. Maeshowe. Anyway. And thanks for watching, folks. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. It makes a huge difference, believe me. But with that out of the way, if you'd like to see some more, over on the left, you can find a playlist of a whole bunch more Rahdo Rapid reviews. Up in the top right, there's the latest thing that's been added to the channel. And in the bottom right, you've got something YouTube recommends. Okay, folks, thanks for watching.